So yes, I'll be doing live looping today, and what that means is there's something by my feet that you can't actually see. I'm going to be using my feet to push buttons while I play. It's going to record me while I go and then play me back. However, I like to do that. So you're going to see what that's like. This first song's called "In Each Other's Arms," and it's a love song. It's definitely about gratitude. So hopefully you take away that part from this song. We just met the other day, and I didn't know your name, so I asked you, and that's when you looked at me. And that smile lit up your face like a warm embrace, and I felt you moving toward me, toward me. Let's stay in each other's arms. Let's stay in each other's arms. Let's stay in each other's arms till the world tears us apart. Till the world tears us apart. Other's arms. Let's stay in each other's arms till the world tears us apart. Let's stay in each other's arms. Let's stay in each other's arms. Let's stay in each other's arms till the world tears us apart. Stay in each other's arms. Let's stay in each other's arms. Let's stay in each other's arms till the world tears us apart. Let's stay in each other's arms. Let's stay in each other's arms. Make sure you other's arms till the world tears us apart. 'Cause you never know. Let's stay in each other's arms. Let's stay in each other's arms till the world tears us apart. Till the world tears us apart. I see you clapping. That's great. Thank you.
And nice comments in the chat too.
Oh, cool.
There's some more clapping.
Oh, thank you. I see it. I see the big arms, kind of like a hug, or it's one of those all clap together in the audience kind of claps. Thank you. So, so that's the example of looping. This next song is a result. I wrote this after spending many times traveling to France, actually. Years ago, I spent some time out there. I went back 3 times and ended up playing a bunch of shows with these musicians that wanted to be in my band. And I did an artist in residence out there, and I recorded an album, and it was just this like magical experience. And then I came back. I came back here and was like taking the bus, and I played in a coffee shop, and I was like just returning to a totally different life. And for those who have done a lot of traveling, it can really be like this reverse culture shock sort of experience where you come back, um, and it's like I was living this life over here, and now I'm here, and it's totally different. Anyway, it's really weird. So that's where this song came from. So some might be able to relate. Sometimes the light shines on nothing. Sometimes the light shines on green. Carrying now feels like something. Weighs 1,000,000 tons but can't be seen. I had a life. I had a life, oh, on the other side of the world. Then came the night, then came the night, oh, shadows falling from my sight. Sometimes you're wearing your image. Sometimes you're bearing your soul. Carrying always this message. Make sure the light is your own, your own. I had a life. I had a life, oh, on the other side of the world. Then came the night, then came the night, oh, shadows falling from my sight, shadows falling from my. I didn't have to be who I am, I didn't have to be who they are. I didn't have to be who they are. I didn't have to be anyone, anyone, anyone. Well, this path was built between us, but the wheel can be caught, and we'll ride that thing forward till our passage is crossed. I see you're clapping. Thank you. Live streaming is really, it's I've been doing this a while now because I actually have a live stream of my own. It's called Coffee with Amy. And I do it on the first Sunday of the month. Every first Sunday. So the next one is August 1st. And it's in the morning. It's 10 a.m. And I started it right like a week or two after the pandemic started. So everybody was still kind of like, and we're all like figuring out how to do live streaming. And, or at least I was. And it was still when people were joking about being in their PJs all the time. So I still do the show in my PJs. It's a Sunday morning thing. I encourage everyone to wear their PJs and have their coffee, and I play music for just a half an hour on that Sunday morning in my PJs. It's fun, and still a good amount of people watch, even though the live streaming thing is worn off a little bit for everyone. But it's a good time. So yes, I've gotten used to the like performing and then just looking at your faces or looking at whatever comments are happening. Takes some getting used to. All I find is love. More to find than love. I walk to see the darkness. I walk to see the sun. I journey through the ages, return to fit my glove. I look inside, and all I find is love. soul with salvation. Tap out to smell the smog. I look inside, and all I find is love. Now why would I want more to find than love? My love's a rainbow, many colors deep. A drunken fool, an angry beast, a light too bright for eyes, a black too thick to see, current too strong for courage, a slope too steep to ski. I look inside, and all I find is love. More to find than I look inside, and all I find is love. Now I can read your lips even. Thank you.
Because I said, wow.
Yeah, it was a little easy, I guess. Yes. Thank you so much. So that was my song called Rainbow. So I think it's fair to say that everybody wants to grow in some way, right? Everybody, I think most people in the world, there are maybe a select few who don't care, but most people want to grow or further themselves in some way. Um, and that's really what this next song is about. This is called "Fly," and this was actually co-written by the band in France and I wrote the lyrics and the melody, and so the most important thing to me about this song is that it's not just about growing, but it's about if you want to grow, you need to deal with the things that hold you back, and the things that hold you back are usually things that you are doing to yourself or things inside. Voices in your head that might tell you you're not, good enough or ways that you feel, things that beliefs you might have about the world. Um, and so that's a little about this one. So you'll hear all of that in the song, albeit with more metaphors and so forth. How can I help it? It's gonna bleed. How can I help what's inside of me? If you wanna change it, then you'd better leave. How can I help what's inside of me? Fly, fly, fly. You need no reason why. How can I help it? It's gonna lead. How can I help what's eternity? If you wanna change it, then you'd better leave. How can I help what's eternity? Fly, fly, fly. You need no reason why. demons. You'd better win. They're stealing your future. They're holding you in. They're keeping you captive. You're trapped in your skin. You'd better face those demons within. 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 So that's Fly. It's kind of an epic tune. There's a lot going on. I'm gonna keep going with this. How are you doing out there? Just give me a smile. There we go. Thumbs. Smile is good enough. So yeah, I'm just gonna go straight into this one. My boots are shined and ready for the road. They'll be dull and faded, for the night is old. Nothing in this world can stay brand new, like another night coming home to you. You know I'm walking through this life, fighting to keep the fire burning deep inside. Learning to live alone, yeah, live with lovers still. There will always be an emptiness to fill. I'm gearing up, I'm ready for the fall. I got the feeling this'll be the worst of all. A chance to lose myself, a chance to grow. But who we could have been, well, I will never know. You know I'm walking through this life, fighting to keep the fire burning deep inside. Learning to live alone, yeah, live with lovers still. There will always be an emptiness to fill. My boots are shined and ready for the road. They'll be dull and faded, for the night is old. Perfect is love with cracks and glue. Pretty soon I will be dull and faded too. You know I'm walking through this life, fighting to keep the fire burning deep inside. Learning to live alone, yet live with lovers still. There will always be an emptiness to fill. You know I'm walking through this life, fighting to keep the fire burning deep inside. Learning to live alone, yet live with lovers still. There will always be an emptiness to fill. You know I'm walking through this life, fighting to keep the fire burning deep inside. Learning to live alone, yet live with lovers still. There will always be an emptiness to fill. So, thank you. I see that. That was an emptiness to fill. And yeah, that song's a big one for me. It's very personal. It's actually about the end of a relationship, but it's about so much more in my world. There will always be some sort of emptiness to fill. Do you know what I mean? There's like a void, and you're like, what do I do with this? And you could celebrate it or you could be depressed by it. It's one or the other. So I think I'm choosing to celebrate. So I've actually been working on a new album, which is kind of in theory right now. Nobody can. I mean, people are seeing it because I'm telling people what I'm doing, but it's right now I'm in the arranging phase. So I have all the songs, but I'm working on how I want them to be presented. And I really, this is my 7th album. So I'm like, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, I'm gonna put everything I have into this album. I'm gonna be my best possible self. I'm gonna make it the best thing I can possibly make it. I'm gonna try my absolute hardest and live to my fullest potential. And it's this really big thing for me. It's been this daunting, even though I've already recorded 6 albums. It's this daunting thing to really put my everything into an album. So I'm learning a lot and I'm growing a lot, and it's definitely happening because I'm telling a lot of people about it. So I was just actually working on string quintet parts. I'm writing parts for strings for the album. So this is part of doing everything I can. It's not going to be looping. There's going to be all kinds of instruments. Instruments that I'm not necessarily playing, I should say. So I have this program called Obenski Backstage. If you see the conch shell, if I could use that in the background for a song. I have this program called Obenski Backstage, and for people who join, it's you can really follow along in the whole process, and you can also support the album. So I'm sharing the process with people. I'm telling people what I'm learning. I'm sharing when things don't work and when I'm frustrated. I'm sharing when things are exciting and when it's all working out, and the whole story and how it's unfolding. So if you'd like to watch that happen, my whole process, please check out my website. It's amyobenski.com, and it says backstage. That's how you find it. And I'm talking about that now because this next song is probably going to be on the album. I think it's not recorded yet, and it's a little different. It's fun. It should be fun. Heaven, I said heaven. You're living on the surface, but I said heaven. Deeper, I said deeper. Look down and you can find a level deeper. There's no satisfaction in a living if you don't lend yourself to giving. You're living in a bottle, you're standing on the shore. Try and tell yourself you just don't want nothing no more. You're reaching, looking for light, but all you find is darkness. And you go on, I must go on, living in circles, living in circles. You got to feel your way. 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 Heaven, I said heaven. You're living on the surface, but I said heaven. Higher, I said higher. Look up and you can find your desire. I follow my passion and it leads me to the wings of the arms that embrace me. You're running in circles, but aching for more. Try and turn the knob of an imaginary door. Thank you. So that's living in circles. So I think we have time for one more. Yes. I'll do one more for you.
I think Vernon wants more. Three? You want three more?
Yeah. I'm okay.
All night.
Yeah. What's that?
All night.
Well, I appreciate that request, but we'll do one more.
Okay.
So this one I wrote a while ago, and I recently moved to San Francisco. Didn't know a lot of people. I was it was a Sunday. It was raining. I was feeling a little bit lonely and restless and bored, and I didn't have any plans at all. And I was like, I guess I should write a song because that's what people do in these moments. So I started writing this song. And it ended up being exactly, usually it ends up being exactly about how you're feeling. Sorry if that was loud. And so this is really about, you can hear the elements of me feeling kind of lonely. But then I was thinking, well, if I'm lonely, how many people in this big city are feeling the exact same way I'm feeling? And feeling connected to all those people, even though I wasn't with them. We can all feel connected through our struggles. And so that's really a little bit about this one. It's a crime in the rain when you feel the same as anyone, but you think you're all alone. It's a life you can't lead, carry the weight upon your shoulders, so you think all hope is gone. But we're all the same. We all feel pain. Somehow the rain calms us down and leads us home. You can fight for your life and feel your way to freedom. You can make it how you like. And the days when the pain hits, freeze and wait for this to be over, or get up and dance with it. But we're all the same. We all feel pain. Somehow the rain calms us down and leads us home. We choose to love in our own way, learning to lead with our hands. Our fairy tale becomes a story when I let go of my plans. But we're all the same. We all feel pain. Somehow the rain calms us down and leads us home. Your face in the morning was a beautiful creation. The sunrise on your skin. We live with our choices, with the fear and doubt and questions, till we find our joy again. But we're all the same. We all feel pain. Somehow the rain calms us down and leads us home. But we're all the same. We all feel pain. Somehow the rain calms us down and leads us home. Yeah, we're all the same. We all feel pain. Somehow the rain calms us down and leads us home. Somehow the rain calms us down and leads us home. Thank you. Could see you singing out there, or at least saying the words, maybe.
I love that song. I just put in the chat. You can hear that song on Amy's homepage.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, if you all want to unmute yourselves for a second so you can give a cheer, round of applause.
Yeah.
Feel free to turn your cameras on if you like.
Thank you. All right, so
Thank you.
you're very welcome. Thanks for showing up.
Oh, it's really beautiful. If anyone has any questions for Amy, feel free to type them into the chat or feel free to just speak up. I know, Vernon, you had a question about flying with musical instruments.
Oh.
Did you have any problems with TSA? You were talking about coming home from France, and we were imagining like your guitar getting opened up at the airport.
Oh, yeah. Oh. I went to Paris with my guitar. I performed too. And I went to Paris with my guitar. And when I went to fly back, the security wouldn't let me bring my guitar on until I'd taken the strings off and pulled out the amplifier, the pickup for the guitar, because they saw wires and they had to make sure it wasn't the bomb. So yeah. Anyway,
that they do like to check out the guitar. So far, I haven't had to take off any strings or anything like that. But yeah, they worry about it and they're like, "What's this?" And it's weird. You'd think they would know these things, that like guitars have a pickup and there's electronics, but
you would think here's the battery, here's the pickup. No, we need to see everything. What? It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of strange, but yeah.
What are you using for your box, control box?
The looper, it's an RC300 Boss. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a whole loop station. So there's 3 pedals down there. Okay. I would show you, but then then I'd have to disconnect everything. You wouldn't hear me. So, yeah, it's got 3 pedals and all kinds of settings and stuff you can use. And a very big user manual.
So you'll teach me how to do that next week, right?
In 1 week, yes. Just like that.
There's one video, Amy, on your YouTube. I can't remember which one it is, but there's one where you can actually see your feet working the pedals.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of an interesting view.
Yeah, that's actually Fly. I think I'm playing Fly in that, and it's kind of like, yeah, it's like a home video. So, and I tried to show my feet. You know, sometimes I cheated a little bit and I'm not pushing the button at the time I actually am when I'm playing.
The first time I saw you play, it was in somebody's house, and I could see what you were doing, but I was wondering.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been doing the looping forever, and I don't know if I will continue doing it forever. We'll see. It's kind of like it's been I guess a 4 or 5 year phase right now.
What got you started
So,
doing the looping technology?
about then, I think about I don't remember what year it was, but it was about 5 years ago, I
What
think.
inspired you to start trying it? Did you see another musician you were really inspired by?
Lots. Lots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't see one particular musician um, that inspired me the most, but I've seen lots and lots of people do looping, and it was kind of like the way advertising has an effect on you. The first time I saw it, I was like, Psh, like that's cheating, and,
Yeah.
and had all kinds of judgments about what they were doing. First time I saw it, and then the second time, kind of felt the same way. And then after a while, I eventually was seeing people, and I was like,
Much fuller sound.
maybe there's something to this, and I can do it. And I started to see ways that I wanted to do looping that I wasn't seeing done. And so that was the thing that really made me want to do it the most, I think. Um, and at that point, I just went straight in. It's like people told me to just get the most basic little pedal where you can just make one loop to start, which is what most people do. Um, but I was like, no, that's not gonna do what I want at all. It's nowhere near like that's just no good. So I just went and I got this like the deluxe like box that has 3 pedals and all these settings, and so it took me a really long time to figure it out. Luckily I had some time and I spent about I'd say 4 hours a day for about 4 months um, figuring out how to use it and how to make some of my songs, transform some of my songs into looping songs, and do them the way I want it. So it's quite the process, and
Oh,
I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to use the thing. So
fun.
Some of
Thank
the
you.
songs weren't written just for the looper. It sounds like you wrote them before and then you added the looping.
some of those, yes. I mean, they pretty much all. Um, I'm thinking about my newer songs, but they pretty much all are written without the looper first. Um, I'm trying to think if there are any songs I do only with the looper. Only because I think there are certain songs I do only with the looper, only because otherwise they seem kind of barren without a band or the looper, like something else. So there are those. It allows me to do certain things I couldn't do solo. Um, like I can just like say a song is I have one song that's honestly a little bit repetitive with the instrumental part, but since when I'm using a looper, I can add harmonies and I can take parts in and out, so it makes it much more interesting for people to listen to. Um, so there are those benefits. But yeah, I don't really write things just for the looper. It's all written first. Yeah.
Were you part of a band in France? I was curious to hear more about your time in France.
Yeah, I actually had a band of my own in France. So I it was really crazy. I was playing a little show in San Francisco, and after the show somebody came up and talked to me, and he had a very thick French accent. And so I asked him where he was from, and he said France. I didn't want to, guess wrong. And 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 I told him I was actually planning to go to Europe. I had a ticket already. I was going to play music there for the first time. So I was like, what do you think about me playing in France? And he said, yes, you should come play in France and I will introduce you to my friends. And, I have some musicians and family there. And then before I knew it, there were people that he knew that were musicians that wanted to be in my band. They had checked out my music online and they wanted to be in my band. They were like, come to France and we'll have shows for you. And it was the weirdest, craziest thing. I just went along with it. And so the first time I was in Europe for a month, and I spent about a week in France, or 10 days in France and a week with them. And they had already been practicing my songs. We had like a couple practices and then we had 2 shows that they had arranged for us. and they housed me and fed me all the cheese and wine,
That's
of course.
amazing.
My goodness. And then, you know, then it was just such a good experience that I decided to go back. And then when I went back, it was part of like a tour where I actually, it was a 4-month tour, the longest tour I'd done. And I went across the US and then I was in Europe. I don't even remember how long, but I was in France for about a month that time. And we just played and we had some shows. And they still they were just as awesome and they were really fun to be around. So then at that time, we decided that I would go back again and we'd record an album and we'd do the artist in residence. And so that was the following year. I went to Europe for 4 months. I was in France for 3 months. And I recorded the album and did this artist in residence, which was at like a local music school where the students played in like an orchestra with my songs. So one of the teachers wrote parts for them. And then we had like a few rehearsals with the whole orchestra. And then we did like a big concert in an auditorium at the end, which was it was full. And these, we played a bunch of songs and the kids played on like 4 different songs or something like that. And we actually got them on the album. A certain amount of students on the album. We had to, I don't think any of them are watching. We had to auto tune a little bit too, because they're kids. But it actually sounds really nice. Yeah. So that album it's pretty special. It was recorded in France and it has this like orchestra.
What's the album
Nice.
called?
I'm gonna go listen to it.
Yeah, that one is called Restless. There's also a music video that goes along with it called Restless, and it's partly recorded in Nantes, which is where I spent most of the time in France. So that's fun.
What an adventure.
Yeah. It's definitely an adventure, yes.